Welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Sent.
I'm Sil.
And today we're talking about Married at First Sight, Season 15. We're at part 1 of the reunion. Mm-hmm. So real quick, we're just going to go through the group session that they had together. As we all know, they broke up into individual sessions, and then there's a whole nother episode after this that we also can't wait to cover. But want to get to this group session, like I said, really quickly. Mm-hmm. It opened up with all the pleasantries and, everybody chiming in with their little nonsense comments. And we jumped right into the clips of Stacia and Nate and all their sexy time stuff so that they could joke about that. I mean, I guess it was a fun time. For me personally, through the episodes, it was too much, how much they showed.
I agree.
So, but everybody had a good laugh about that.
Yeah.
And they should have done that later to break the tension, but it's immediately following all the videos and all the talk about the vibrating panties and all of that good stuff. Mm-hmm. We jump into, hey, is everybody still on good terms?
Yeah.
Nobody really wanted to answer. Justin has this Cheshire cat grin on his face, looking kind of ridiculous. People know he had something to say, but he didn't want to say it. So Kevin rephrased the question, and he's like, "Okay, is anybody blocked?" Nate chimes in. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Yeah." So I don't know exactly why he was feeling so strongly about this, but he obviously wanted to talk about the fact that Justin had blocked everybody on social media. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that bothered him so much?
I don't know why it bothered him, but it obviously did because he wanted to get to the bottom of it. And so maybe he's had these questions for a few months. He's been sitting on it. And so, hey, he's in front of me now. So let me get the answer to why did you block me and why did you block everybody else pretty much that's on the stage right about now.
But he seemed like he already didn't like him. Why do you care, in a sense? It's almost like he kind of wanted to pick at him. He kind of wanted to bait him
possibly
into a conversation. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that he knew where it was going to go.
Yeah.
I
don't think no one knew where it was going to go. I don't even think Justin knew where it was going to go.
I don't know. But obviously, we all saw the previews where it was a big question mark. Who was Justin talking to? What was he talking about? Did they do some careful editing? No, they didn't do any careful editing. Justin comes out. He starts trying to kind of defend himself, I guess, for why he blocked people. Mm-hmm. He said that Nate was fake.
Yeah.
He kind of beat around the bush at first, but ultimately he said Nate is fake. So in being pressed to answer that question, his response was, look, you were one person at one time when we all got into the group and everything. And we said I guess they made a bro bond, I said, hey, we're going to be there for each other, et cetera, et cetera. But Nate told him, look, I was raised a certain type of way. I don't get all into people's business.
But he did. He tried to do the Nate voice when he did it, though. Did you catch that?
I caught it, but I can't replicate it, and he can't either. So I'm not gonna do it. But
I was raised by my dad.
Yeah. So he was like, however, when Ben and Morgan's thing went down, you were all in Ben's business. And I'm like, who was all in Ben's business? Because to me, Justin was all in Ben's business.
Yes.
To the point where he contributed to the failure of his marriage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's something we didn't really see.
Yeah. Maybe I don't. You know what? The only thing that I think that he's talking about was Nate was trying to hold Morgan accountable.
Yeah, I remember when they all sat together in Nate and Sasha's apartment. And he asked her why the hostility. I get it, but I wouldn't equate that to being all in their business.
Exactly.
They were there at his apartment.
And everybody was discussing it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know if it was something additional that happened that we didn't see, but that was interesting to me that he took that offensively. I think that Justin needed a friend. He ran off Ben as his friend.
Yeah.
And he was hoping that he would have another, and he didn't. Mm-hmm. So I think he felt some type of way about that.
He thought Nate was going to fill the friend shoes.
Yeah. Mm. And Nate, Nate's not that, I don't know. Ben's a sensitive guy. Nate isn't. He's intolerant of that type of sensitivity. So he wasn't going to get that from him.
He should have known better.
Yeah.
And just because someone says that they're going to be there for you, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be there for you in the way that you...
Right. I'm not about to hold your hand.
Yes. Yes. And I think that's what Nate was trying to say. Look, man, I'm not your therapist.
Exactly. He did say that.
And I'm not your wife either. So if you want to come to me, like if you want to talk man to man about something and get my opinion, then that's cool. But if you think I'm going to hold your hand through this experiment, then absolutely not. You got the wrong guy.
Right. Well, Justin, as they get into this back and forth, Justin is feeling like some type of way. Nate is really trying to pin him down on the whys and, the details.
Yeah.
And Justin just jumps in, claps back with a, you made a pass at me 2 times before the show. And everybody's like, because we can't believe it. They can't believe it on the set. And Nate doesn't really know how to respond. He's like, what pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Justin's response to that was very frustrating and angry to me. I don't know how everybody else felt about that. You guys make sure you chime in. But he said he complimented him 2 days in a row. He said his skin was nice or his teeth were nice. I can't believe you're on the show. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Seriously, are you kidding me? I understand. I don't think I ever want to hear the term toxic masculinity mentioned again in defense of Justin and all his emotions. Because if you're the type of man who cannot receive a compliment from another man without calling him gay, you're toxic. I don't want to hear it ever again. In terms of Justin.
No,
it's not a defense for him anymore.
It's a mute point. That's done.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. So we're to believe that we're supposed to connect the dots that because this man gave you 2 compliments on back-to-back days, that he made a pass at you.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about him. As much as we've been calling out, we had 2 videos, one on Justin, one on Alexis, who was worse, who was lying, who was manipulative. That was a huge lie. That was a huge, embellishment of the truth just to make Nate look bad or to try to embarrass him. And no, I wasn't there for it.
No, I wasn't there for it either. Now, from a man's standpoint, I never really heard about a man complimenting another man on their skin or their teeth, as Justin was saying. If that is true, by which I'm very skeptical right about now on the truth coming from Justin, because when he's pushed up against the wall or when he's feeling threatened, that's when he kind of comes out the box with some very strange stuff. I mean, the closest thing I can think of right now is when he was having his bouts with Alexis, and then all of a sudden he just out of nowhere took his ring off. And so he acts out of turn to try to hurt or to confuse or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's a strange kind of little thing that happens. Because you're pushing me to say, why I blocked you, now you're gay. It just comes out of nowhere. And I have no defense. Y'all know I've been defending Justin from time to time, maybe too much, maybe. But on this, bruh, you straight wrong. You were straight wrong with
that was ridiculous. So now the interesting exchange happened, as they kind of go back and forth. Then Justin's really bad. He's like, take some of that bass out of your voice. Nate doesn't have any bass in his voice. He did change his tone, but Nate does not have a deep voice or anything like that. He didn't say anything that I think was threatening. But so Nate looked like he was taken aback by that. It took him a pause, a couple of beats before he's like, well, what are you going to do? And Justin is ready to fight, I guess. Or he's at least ready to act like he's ready to fight. He stood up,
took his jacket off.
Started taking his jacket off. And what blew my mind that I had to talk to my husband. I'm like, what is Nate doing? Why is he still sitting down? Now, I don't know. We did talk about this ahead. If this is a regional thing. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the south side of it. And I don't know any men who are going to let a man be that close in their personal space and stand up and be speaking harsh words and they stay seated. So I was like, babe, what was that about? Why is he still sitting down? Like, maybe he's nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he think that Justin was going to win this fight?
Yeah. And my only answer to that is, number one, maybe Nate didn't take him seriously. Maybe Nate is just like, and maybe it's just another form of disrespect. Look, bro, I ain't going to even stand up for you. You know what I mean? Because you ain't going to do nothing. You talking. And if I really thought that you were a threat to me, then I'll be standing up. Man, go sit down. And so I kind of like took it that it could be that, or it could have been Nate was just like, this is a tall 6'8" brother.
That's what it looked like.
And if I stand up, it may just provoke it a little bit more. And I don't really want no smoke with this tall brother.
He may not have. I mean, I don't see how you're scared of Justin, but I mean, you did explain that. Like, he's on a large frame just because of his height.
Yes.
Because I'm like, he's so skinny. Like, come on.
He is skinny, but
I mean, Nate is lean too, but he's not. He looks more muscled than Justin. I would just think that he would feel confident in that.
I'm going to say it like this. Any man, 6'8", he's got to be over 200 pounds. And any man over 200 pounds, when they hit you flush, you're going to feel it. Yeah. And so you got to have some training or be willing or able to take a punch if you coming in on somebody, because it's not like Nate is going to be able to match his reach. And so he's got to get in.
He got to bob and weave, baby.
That's a chance.
I don't know. All I know, when Justin walked away, when he started to move away, then Nate had a lot more words.
Yeah.
You know, I'll fold you up and this and that, you know, but it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much while he was still sitting down and he was close to him. So I don't know. Let us know what you guys think about that. I found that interesting, but it's okay. I mean, it's not like I wanted them to get into an altercation. I was just shocked to see his behavior in response to that. Yeah. I'm not used to that. I'm like, oh, if somebody is in your vicinity talking crazy, you got to stand up and be ready to meet whatever may come to you.
Exactly. I mean, if it was me, I'm going to stand up.
Yeah, I'm going to stand up.
And I don't care who
Even
it
if
is.
It's Justin.
Yes, I don't care who it is. I'm going to stand up. So that way I'm a little bit more ready for what may come.
Exactly.
But I don't know. You know, that was a bit strange for me. That was
interesting.
Yeah, so, that was a bit strange.
Alexis walks him off and she talks him down like this is her 6-year-old son, and asks him to focus on him, focus on her. He doesn't have to see Nate anymore after this. Yeah. And then asks him, is he ready? Can he self-regulate? Yeah. And I'm like, God.
That was one of her buzzwords.
That was one of the things that she said. And he didn't recoil from that. He's like, yeah, you know, like, so she really did kind of have to talk him down for him to come back. Now, it was hilarious that when he came back and sat down, Nate immediately was like, so why'd you block her?
He wasn't going to stop. He wasn't going to stop at that point.
No. While he was away, though, everybody on the stage kind of did confirm, like, Justin is just projecting. Yes. You know, like, don't worry about it. Don't give him any, you know, like, don't give that any type of, you know, energy. Yeah. Essentially, Kristen said they were all blocked and unblocked and reblocked. Yeah. So when he did come back, even though Nate asked him the question and he didn't want to answer, Kevin followed up and asked him. So he explains that he blocked Kristen because she's two different people as well. She's different when she's with Alexis. Right. He wanted to say she was fake, but he didn't. Yeah. So that, I mean, I guess he learned. He started to self-regulate. Yeah. He said that he blocked Morgan and Lindy, right? Because they were supposed to go hiking together or something. Yes. And then they just left him out instead of telling him. They just kind of left him out. That was foul. Yeah. So, I mean, and it probably was, but then I'm also like, that begs the question, like, was it just you? Was it you and the two of them that were getting ready to go hiking? Wasn't that weird already?
Yeah, maybe. Like, I don't know.
Because he didn't say, like, about anybody else. He didn't say, well, I blocked Morgan and Ben as well as Lindy and Miguel. Yeah. Because we were all supposed to go out. It was just the two ladies. So, like.
And it's just like, nah, we don't want to hang out with you. Yeah. And he thought that, man, I don't know. But the one thing I think that really got to him was the crybaby insult that Nate leveled on him. And I think over the process of this whole season, like I was saying, he's very emotional and he's very sensitive. but it's gotten to the point to where he's so sensitive and he's so emotional that he comes off weak. And no man, not even Justin, wants to be known as the weak guy. Yeah. And so I think he's just kind of like overcompensating now. As he said, he developed some tough skin. Well, you got to find a happy medium, with that. You can't be so tough to where you can't be able to articulate what you're feeling and what your thoughts are without slinging half-truths at people. Yeah. You just can't do that.
Yeah. So, they pretty much finished up the group session talking to Kristen and Mitch about how their decision day went, right? Mm-hmm. And Mitch basically put his foot in his mouth, although I didn't feel like he really did anything wrong. They showed the scene, I think, where he's trying to clarify when Kristen said to the group mm-hmm. that she was leaving the door open or cracked or ajar, whatever, for him. Mm-hmm. And Alexis tried to help her gain some insight on that. Yeah. And then Mitch is like, well, that didn't come from me. And it was taken so offensively, and he really took accountability for that more so than I think he even should have, because he was just trying to make it clear what no meant. No meant no in that instance, and she wasn't taking no for, she was taking no for maybe. Mm-hmm. So clarify that, and that's what he did. He took ownership of it. He said he was pussyfooting around, his words. Yeah.
Don't hear that every day.
Right. He shouldn't have done that. Yeah. So, I guess if he wants to fall on that sword, then that's fine with me. But I don't think he was wrong in that. And I think, at least Alexis got to explain she wasn't trying to be messy or anything. She was just mm-hmm. trying to stand up for her friend.
I get that. And just like you and I were discussing in the last Kristen and Mitch finale, mm-hmm. I think, video that we were talking about, that I felt like he could have clarified it a little bit more, mm-hmm. Especially when he saw that she was a little bit more open to things happening down the road. Yeah. And he even said, well, maybe I was just trying to get out of there without hurting her anymore or whatever. So I get it, because breakups are hard. Yeah. You can lay it out on exactly why you shouldn't be together, but then you stick around and then you're going to find yourself answering questions that you don't want to answer. And so it's good if you go break up and hurry up and leave, but you can't do that with this show.
No, you can't.
And so he had to stick around, and he could see that she wasn't as clear with what he had said, as he thought she was.
Yeah, that's true, but that was her fault. Shame on her. She should have listened to no. Divorce. That means divorce. That don't mean leave the door open for me for if I decide I want to be a good husband. No, that's not what he said. He said no.
Yeah, that's true. But I bet you she got that door closed now. And
she's got it closed now.
Nothing's ajar now.
Right. Anyway, guys, that wrapped up the group session. So we'll wrap this video up here, and then we'll go into the individuals momentarily. So like, share, subscribe, drop those comments below, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.